What's up, everybody? I'm Frankie Biggs. Thank you for stopping by to my channel. And if you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, and put that notification bell on so you know the next time we drop one of these dope-ass videos. Now, today, we are doing something super special because I'm telling you, today is like a momentous thing, especially in my journey doing the whole reaction videos. One of the staples, if you're going to get into reviewing, K-pop, P-pop, or anything like that, every region has its superstar. And in the Philippines, it is a man by the name of Casual Chuck. And this dude not only has covered, some of the Filipino greats like Easy Mill, but like aggressively definitely loves SB19 and has definitely led the 18 charts for a while now. So I came to notice these people because my wife was like, "Look, man, there's this guy." She told me all about Casual Chuck and showed me the channel. And at that point, we were looking for more, basically more Asian content to cover because K-pop, between K-pop and J-pop, it's so extensive. But I've always had a heart for the Filipino people, and it was like, let's see what's happening in the Philippines, because if I know my Filipino peeps, they're going to be doing it better than anybody else. So let's go. And it was also a matter of different people too that led us to SB19. And that just, as soon as you start to learn about SB19, you start to learn, you have to do it by the guides, and you learn that Casual Chuck is number one in that space. So without further ado, everybody, Casual Chuck.
That was a legendary introduction. I don't feel like I
Well,
deserve that,
thank
but
you,
thank
sir.
you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Coming from you, that is the ultimate compliment. Today, so like I have a lot of questions, not only about SB19, but also you too, because I went to film school and I was able to recognize just in your guides that, well, I guess my first question is, dude, did you go to film school?
No, no. Everything that I do on YouTube, everything is self-taught. I was kind of interested to do video editing when I was like back in my teenage years, Windows Movie Maker, just playing around with it, but I didn't really pursue it. So I just want to say something about what you said. I I love Filipino talent. I actually cover not just music but also athletes and everything that everyone who carries the Philippine flag. When it comes to music, I mainly focus to SB19. I might branch out in the future, but at the moment, my main focus is SB19. But yeah, man, thanks for having me here.
You're welcome, man. That focus is very scoped. Let's just say that, which I think is amazing because, you know, my journey into this whole reaction videos and the Asian entertainment culture all the way around, man, has just been something that I've always been interested in. So, but in you get caught up in the American, as an American, you get caught up in that industry there, and so I think once I retired and kind of just said, I'm just gonna do this. That was something that was the direction I wanted to go. And the SB19 is kind of like, almost has the same BTS moniker where like you don't really find SB19, they kind of find you, and they find you at a really, really good time because it just seems like a lot of their songs and their messages are just so impactful. So, but to have you to be able to guide people through that, I think is just, first off, it's a necessary thing, but also it's a very spiritual thing too, because I believe what you're doing is something from your heart, and it's just really, really good for the Filipino culture to know that they're strong and to know that they're talented and they do belong at the top. So as a Latino, I know how important that is. So there's how
I
I
love
feel
that.
about Filipino people. I think you're super underrated, and I would love for that to change. And I think SB19 is doing that.
Awesome. Yeah. that's main reason why I do it for them, because they resonated so much to me. I can relate to them a lot, their stories, and what they've gone through. Uh, when I first encountered them, it felt like nobody, there's not enough people talking about them. So I just had to like do what I can to contribute to give them exposure. I don't want to say that I have major impact. Maybe 5%, 3% of an impact is what I had, but at least I have an impact. And I just wanted to like, I just want the world to see them, and I'm just so happy that it's paying off. And yeah, you're one of those guys that you know that my videos have reached. So that makes me really happy.
Well, yeah, and speaking of which, man, a person that I went to film school, and I already know this answer. I know that you had told me before that you hadn't gone to film school, but I give you so much credit, and it's just yet another testament to the talent that Filipino people have, because you didn't go to film school. But if a film school student saw how you put these guides together, you know, it you're hitting the right spots. Like, you're doing it in the most correct and upright way, and you really really do. You know how I say this, like, you keep it ambiguous, and I think that that's a talent by itself. So your editing, your flows, and stuff like that are just top notch, man. And I really dig that. And it's very impressive. And so yeah, I want to give you that talent, because your breakdowns are just wow, like super thorough. And let's be honest, I mean, I haven't. We've only taken a look at maybe some people that have tried to put some guides out before, but they don't seem to be as in depth, and they don't seem to last as long as
Oh,
yours.
come
I
on,
mean,
really now?
but it's true. I mean, unless it's a documentary that's been put out by them. But maybe you don't see yourself that way. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't see the importance. But thinking from an American dude who's living in Europe, who's new to this, yeah, man, you're a beacon, dog. You need to
Thank you,
own that.
man.
You need to
Yeah, I'm
own
just a
that,
dude
man.
who I'm just a guy who likes making videos. But man, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you for seeing my hard work, I guess. One thing's for sure, I always do the best I can to produce the best quality of video I can produce. I always try my best, try to outdo the last one, just like how
Well, for my
SB19
peeps
does it.
out there. Well, for my peeps out there, man, you guys, if you don't know who this man is, or SB19, do yourselves a favor. There's going to be some links down there that you can follow him and follow the group. I promise you, this is worth it. It is worth looking
uh,
into. If you're a lover of K-pop and J-pop and that whole aspect of pop, Filipino pop, and SB19, you definitely got to check them out. Now, I have this next question for you. So, in proximity, right, to where you are in the Philippines, and at the time that the group was coming up, did you ever have any type of interaction with them, or was do they know of you and your work? Like, how are you linked to them in that way, or are you?
I I am gonna rip the band-aid and say that I am not I'm not affiliated with them. I'm not connected to them. But when it
Okay.
comes to interactions, there's a little bit. There's some. There was one time when I went to their merch store, and it just so happened that Josh and Justin was there. So I was able to say hi to them. Josh was like, "I remember you. I know you." And I was like,
Awesome.
"Really? What the?" I was really shocked, and Justin was just smiling. But Josh really like pointed at me and he said, "Yeah, I know you." And I was like thanking them, and I was just over the moon there. But yeah, that's one of the interactions we had. During my birthday 3 years ago, Justin sent me a video greeting too, which I was so surprised of. But man, that was really special. Made me cry when I saw that video.
I
But
cry
yeah,
too. Shit.
right.
Yeah. That's amazing, man. That's so they definitely know who you are. Um, I guess the next thing is when are you going to interview these cats? You certainly have press credentials right now. That's pretty respected.
Oh no, I'm just a guy who likes making videos, man. Just a YouTube guy. I don't even think I can handle them in an interview. To be honest with you, I am happy where
What?
I am.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I'm happy where I am.
Wait, wait, wait.
I'm
Hold
just a
on, hold on.
fan.
Let me give you a scenario, right? So somebody from their entertainment group reaches out and says, "How would you like to do an interview? Just like a like this kind of style interview, you interviewing the boys." You would say no?
Of course, I'll say yes, man. That's a
Okay.
once
So
in a
next
lifetime
question.
thing.
Next question, number 2. What if you put in for press credentials and the next concert they come and it gets approved for you to go and have access to them to interview them for their next gig? Would you do it?
I don't know, man. I'm not a press guy, and I'm not really good in public. I might be able to speak in front of camera, but in person, I'm not so good at it.
Well, I
But
let's just say if it ever gets to you and you get the confidence to do it, or it's just the direction that you take, I think you could pull it off, Holmes. I really do.
oh man, thank you.
I do. I think because they already know who you are and everything, so I think it'd be a respectful thing. You damn better believe that if they ever come to Barcelona, that's the exact move I'm pulling. That is the
Uh,
exact move. You know what I mean? Because, I feel just the way I feel for them
Sick.
is how I feel for BTS. Like, the world needs to hear this. The world, because they identify, and that's kind of my next thing. Like, you know, I'm gonna ask the question, but I want to set it up in this manner, which is that looking at their story, okay, and I've my wife and I have talked about this extensively. Like, what is the glue? What is the magic? So here's my opinion. Here's the question to you. But I'll give you my opinion first. I believe that the glue to SB19 is the fact that in a world where these K-pop trainees and J-pop trainees they're training them in schools, they're training them in beautiful studios, and all the way down to not so beautiful studios, but just depending on the company that's putting the time and effort behind them. In that world, SB19 didn't have that. They
Mm.
didn't have that at all, man. Like, they literally, it took for favors. It seemed like it was a community that kind of came together, in a community that already was suffering in poverty at the same time, but still came together to help these guys. And at the same time, in the same community, trying to tear them down. You know what I mean? When they started to reach a point, then all of a sudden, all these really inappropriate suggestions and questions and everything, it was as a way to break them down. And I feel like the difference was the fact that they overcame that. They're still overcoming that. And they didn't have all that fancy training. They didn't have the fancy studios, the big producers, or anything. All this had to be done by themselves. It was pure initiative, pure ambition. I ask you, that's how I feel. Meaning that when I know this group, that's why my heart goes out to them, because no, I never went through that. And that's just being real. I never went through that struggle. But when I see that, it makes me appreciate what I did go through, because things could have been worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me, that's the glue. That's what makes me almost cry for these guys. Like, wow, because I kind of feel that. I can see it. So, what do you think that glue is?
That is beautiful, man. I gotta be honest with you. I really like that, and I enjoyed listening to your commentary right there, man. That's really good. Um, yeah, I can totally relate to you. They started from nothing, literally. When they were training, they were not paid. There was no allowance at all. Um, yeah, and here in the Philippines, it's really hard to break through because the politics. I know there's politics in the U.S. and everywhere in the music industry, but here in the Philippines, it's just worse, man. It's our country is one of the most corrupt countries in the world, so it's hard to break through. if you go to a route or in if you try to go through a traditional route, it's the odds are really against you. And for me, SB19 has I think their main strength is their determination and the willingness to just go out there and be seen. They performed in the streets, in the malls, no payment at all, no salary. They just want their music to be out there. The first time they got their song in Spotify was already worth celebrating for them, even if nobody was listening. So those kind of things just makes me root for them. You remember that first live stream? They only had 10 people watching them, but they still
Right,
gave it their
right.
all. So they have this underdog mentality that you just can't help but support them. And they're kind people. They're nice people. They're not arrogant, and that's one more reason to support them. And yeah, I don't think I will stop supporting them anytime soon.
I don't think so on this end either. I mean, my wife and I both just
We're definitely 18. I mean, that's that. I get it. I see it, and I really, really respect it. And mine, you'll have to forgive me, but there was a moment, and I can't remember which one, but I thought it was either Stell or Justin when they disbanded. Which one was the
Mm.
one that said, "I'm still showing up to practice, even if it's by myself"?
That was Stell. That was actually
Stell.
Stell. Like everybody quit, and then Stell did, and he was like, "Oh, you're peacing out? Nah, I'm staying."
I I I got to tell you
That was what really did it for me. That's where the tears came because, yeah, dude, it. I just love the fact that he was like, "Well, guess what? I don't have anything else, so I'm gonna just do this." And the fact that each one of these guys ended up coming back one at a time like that was amazing. Just a moment
Yeah,
in human history to me of how impactful humans can be. And I
true.
just wow. Mwah. Like if it was a movie, it would be just that Oscar worthy thing. And that's I guess the next question is that at this point with all of the the guides and everything the documentaries from them and all the stuff, man, don't you think like the next thing would be like the movie of these cats? Like, not a documentary, man, like for real shit. Like, because
Right.
I think honestly, like a movie about these guys' life, I could see it and I could see it killing at any one of these film festivals. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Like,
I have said that many times, dude.
dude, because even the shots, I mean, just to go to the Philippines and actually go there with, the right equipment and capture life as it is, along with dialogue and actors and actresses, man, I can't think that it wouldn't do numbers. Not only that, then the like icing on the cake would be to have them do the soundtrack. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
I
That's
just think that's.
really yeah.
I
That
mean,
that
tell me
that
about
is
that. You said you've had the same thought. Like,
yeah, man. That's really very possible. There's a possibility that they're already working on it. I don't know. I mean, I don't have any inside information, but that's definitely something worth considering. Their story is beautiful, and
yes,
uh, their story is already amazing, considering only the things that are known in public. I heard that there are things that happen behind the scene that are even worse or even more epic that we don't know about. So that would really be nice if they decide to make a movie about themselves. I mean, they're young; they can even play themselves if they wanted to. uh
absolutely.
I mean, it's yeah, that's a really great idea, man. You should pitch it to 1Z.
well, man,
sometimes, dude, because I get caught up, and I mean, I've done a lot of really cool things and big things too. You know what I mean? That have actually mattered in the music business, and I have my achievements and everything like that. But I've never really stopped to, I guess, to bask in it as much as more than it is like a marketing thing for the channel and everything else. But meaning, I don't know how much power I have. Sometimes I know, and sometimes I don't, and it's not something that I gauge every single day and want to keep control of. But I would, if I did do something like that, it would be with my heart, and I would not only want to do it, you know, I would want to come like full force, like, look, here are my people that I know in Hollywood, and here's a bona fide script, different people, and pitch it and see if it would be something. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it half-assed because they don't deserve that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
True.
but again, doing something like that on this end also, it's a lot of work. You know what I mean? It's like a serious.
For
It's
real.
not. It's not as easy as making phone calls because I get told no all the time. You know what I mean? If I pitch ideas to some of my people that are out there, I mean, I'll give you an example. I've been invited to these companies, and specifically they want to hear some things, or they want to hear what I'm doing, and I pitch things, and then they just go, "That's great, man. You know what? We're working on blah 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 blah." You know what I mean? Like, they don't really have interest of what I'm bringing to them. They're more interested in me doing something for them that they're already doing. But to get me into their office, they act as if they're interested in something that I'm doing, and then it's a hard no. Not saying no. So I wouldn't want that to happen. But it is something that I've always considered, because you're right. It's the underdog story, and aren't those the stories that do the best at the box office? Because everybody can relate to it.
Exactly, man.
So we'll
Yeah.
have to have you in it too, man.
Nah.
You could be the voice from beyond, like the '70s music when it was the DJs that kind of narrated the movie. You'll
Yeah.
do. My next question is like the future of, like, the way that you see the future happening with these guys and in the Philippines, like the music business. And I know that I don't know how much of the music business you're into, but you are into the visual arts of everything. So where do you think that's happening? Where do you think they're going to be represented, or how, in the future? And do you think it's possible that there could be maybe a shift in that paradigm between real artists and then AI artists that kind of mimic that? Because that's being played with now in music. What do you think
Mhm.
about that?
That's a really interesting question. With regards to SB19's future, I think they'll be fine, man. Um, they are, in my opinion, they might be gearing up to become mentors in the near future. I think they want to develop talent. Um, they just announced recently that they are looking for young girls and boys who are talented enough, and they'll be mentoring them, and maybe they're put together a group. That's great. That's exciting, man. SB19 sharing their knowledge and everything when it comes to the music industry. I think they'll be fine despite the AI, you know, kind of taking over, right? Because
Right.
AI is something that can't be it's something that cannot be avoided anymore. Like AI has its good uses, it makes things easier. um if you want to write something, you can hire the help of AI to help you out. But in my opinion, man, I still don't do it, man. It's just because for me, AI tends to aim for mathematical perfection or precision, right? It wants to be perfect, um, which can often lead to something that is hollow or clinical, to the human ear,
Right.
when it comes to music. And also, uh, music is not just about sound; it's about people. Fans follow artists because they relate to their stories, their fashion, their political views, and their growth over time. AI does not have that. And not to mention live performances, right? A huge part of music is the energy of the live show. So, you know, AI can never replicate that. Like, what would be an AI concert look like? It's gonna be weird, right?
Right.
But yeah, man. I think SB19 will be fine, and I think AI will not be able to really take over completely.
I
I'm
don't
not
think
sure if I
that's a
answered your question. Sorry.
no, 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 no. You did absolutely, and I think that with them as well too. That Pablo seems to be. I mean, to me, he is the absolute brainchild of everything. He absolutely my bias. Yet I got his name wrong. My bad.
Nice.
Uh, I just believe like he's the kind of dude that would kind of look at the future. He knows like he has the group here, but he also has this very innovative mind. You know what I mean? Just in his production and the things that that guy has gone through and and achieved, I feel like that he could roll with the punches. So my prediction is like kind of like yours. I think there's always going to be because this is no matter what, no matter how much AI we do to ourselves, we are in a human industry. You know what I'm saying? And my only thing to that is that the kids that are being born right now, the ones that are 1 and 2, 3 years old, we hope that they don't get kind of washed into actually not caring between humans and you know what I mean and AI. Like to them, it's kind of a smorgasbord of information that they can go through very very quick. They don't really care, you know, as long as it feeds their need. And it kind of looks like we're kind of going into that information boom like that. And so in one way, I hope that we're able to achieve the things that we need to achieve before we're replaced. But as far as SB19, I think it's just going to be a multifaceted thing. And I think the fact that not only did they put the Philippines on the map, I said this before, but the Philippines put them on the map, makes them representatives of that in just about every way, whether it be, you know, tech, innovation tech, even down to fashion or anything. I think these guys really represent they're going to be representatives, bigger representatives in the future for the
Wow.
Philippines. I do believe that.
I
And
love
I
that, man.
have one more prediction. These cats are going to win Grammys.
Yo,
That's coming up.
that's the dream, bro.
That's coming up. I'm telling you what, because I know how the Grammys work. We know. You know, I have one. So I know what it took and what I've learned outset from that. And I just think that the setup is that whether they know it or not, it's kind of a twofold thing. They deserve it, but also it's going to be an undeniable force where Neris is going to have to recognize them. Have to recognize them because there's just been too many near misses when it comes to Filipino artists. And they're the strongest contenders that I think they cannot be ignored. They could ignore Easy Mill. They could ignore even the singer that replaced Steve Perry in the Journey band. They could there's I can go on and on of Filipino artists and actors and actresses that have almost done it. I believe SB19 is not going to be somebody that they can look past. So that's why I believe that there's going to be a very big uh, uh, pioneering moment with them. And this is why I love them so much, Chuck, is because that's what I really,
Nice.
really see. I more than what people because I've been in this industry for over 40 years and I've been very successful at it. But one of the key points to the music business and entertainment business is being able to look into the future, is being able to decode it. And the only way that's going to happen is by a collective. And it's got to be a separate collective than what you're thinking, like a group or their entertainment company and how they move. Watching how they move and how they put these groups together, like SB19, whether they know it or not, it's like a ship that goes through the ice, man. It just breaks it through. And they may that
Nice.
ship may not be able to move fast and break it, but it ain't stopping at the same time. And it's breaking the rules, breaking that ice, breaking it, breaking it till it gets to that moment where they're in open water again, and then they cruise. So I think that just by default, that's where SB19 is at.
Bruh.
Do
I
you
love that.
agree?
I do agree. I was about to say that. I was about to say that SB19 is still on their way up and they're not done. They're only getting started. And going back to the AI conversation, AI just inherently just builds on what already exists, you know.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the human aspect of it, you know, humans are the reason why jazz, rock and roll, and hip hop got invented, right? And
Right.
SB19's music right now, they sound very unique, and they might just, you know, invent a whole new genre, you know, on their own. So that's what makes me so excited as well. And I also have said this before that they might just win a Grammy in the future, and you know, we share the same opinion indeed. So I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I do. I think that they and not just one. There needs to be multiple. You know what I mean? And also what their company needs to realize too is that when it comes to submitting the Grammys, it isn't just about the categories that we see on TV. You know, best new artist, best this and that. Man, they have Grammys for liner notes in a CD. They have Grammys for some of things that people don't even really ever submit to. You know, now are those going to get the Grammys that get announced on the big show? No, those are pre-announcement Grammys, but regardless, they're Grammys. And I think
Nice.
if they play the nearest game, if the company plays the nearest game and they get very interested in how and when the timelines are in to submit, because look at it this way, they're ready to go, right? They're ready. They got records. They're on tour. They've done numbers. They deserve this. But what needs to happen is the mentality of the Grammys are going to reach out to SB19. That's not a reality. It's the other way around. What needs to happen is their company needs to reach out to them. They need to look at the entries. They need to look at what they're submitting for, and they need to submit to everything they can. So if it's artwork, boom, artwork. If it's liner notes, it's liner notes. It's whatever. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
okay.
Whatever in all of it. Because are they going to get all those? We don't know, but they only need one. I don't care if it was for best makeup or best whatever kooky
Right.
categories they put up. They got to be aggressive with it, and that's my only message to 18, to people like you, and to them. Like, you guys, you got to learn that game, play it, submit
Yo,
for it. You know what I mean? Submit for it, because the Grammys aren't going to come to you. You got to go to them. And I
yeah,
think
that is some
that's
valuable intel you're sharing here, man. Thank you.
I do it. You're welcome, because I'm telling you now, I want to see this. I want to see that moment, dog. I want to see that moment that they say SB19, because do you know, and I know you do, but I say this to hear myself say it to you, how much, and I want to say this the nice way without being, uh, do you know what kind of a FU moment that would be? Like, that would be the most grandest. If there was a parade of FU moments, they would be the grand marshals of that parade. Of that moment. You know what I'm saying? Because there was so much unnecessary things that people put them through, critics put them through, so many opportunities that they missed only because these people were just being hateful. So to see these guys walk up there and receive a Grammy, wow. That's what I hope happens. That's my message. Like, play the game. Play that game, because these guys deserve it.
Yeah,
So,
man, that's gonna be
next question. Future for Casual Chuck. What is the future, sir, for you? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years and then the next 10 years?
Oh my god, that is that is a tough question. I'm an everyday guy, you know. I always take it day to day, man. I don't. I'm a spontaneous guy. I just I love enjoying my day to day, you know, live my life to the fullest every day. I To be honest, I don't really have any plans. I just try to do what I can in every you know, in my daily life, you know. I try to get myself better when it comes to making videos. I always come up with ideas. I always write things. I always write scripts, and yeah, and I always make sure that I don't lose time from for my family as well. I try to keep it balanced, you know, as much as I can. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, who knows? One thing's for sure. I, I'll be able to provide for my family, and I'll be able to, you know, contribute to the to to the industry, to whoever I support, like, Filipino talents, and to keep providing content to my viewers. I mean, that's yeah, that's just the honest thing I can tell you, man.
Okay, cool. And I receive that. Now, speaking of Filipino talent, I know that you rep hard SB19. You started actually doing, wasn't a review on Easy Mill, correct?
Yeah, yeah, I became a reactor because of Easy Mill. Yeah.
So right now, like on the radar, is there like a dark horse in the running there in the Philippines that we should be watching out for? Another group
I can
or
I'm not sure, man. To be honest, I I have just been recently so focused with SB19, and I haven't really paid attention as much when it comes to our other artists. But
Mhm.
when it comes to Easy Mill, I mean, he has a record deal with with
Shady
Eminem, with
Aftermath.
Shay,
Yeah.
exactly, and that has not yet been it hasn't been cashed out, in my opinion. Like, they haven't really released anything yet, so I think they're working on it. It's kind of taking too long, in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah.
I hope Easy drops it. I'm not sure what their plan is, but I hope they drop an album as soon as time they can. I'm sure they're working on it. It's just been taking so long, man. Maybe they are just waiting for the right timing. I don't know. I'm not the expert,
No, I
but
mean, it's about timing. I feel the way that you feel too. You know what I mean? Like when he first came out, I was like so like, wow, man. I was screaming, but no, I was like really I just thought like actually it's crazy that you say that he was what got you into it because he was what got me into reacting too. Because
oh wow.
yeah, he was what got me into God's God's honest truth, man. It was crazy because the first thing that I saw when I became a reactor was it says Filipino parents react to Easy Mill, and I had never heard of Easy Mill at that point, right? And I'm from Detroit, so and I know some people in that Shady Camp and Universal and Interscope, so you'd have thought that I'd heard this dude that he got a deal, but I hadn't, and so it said, the parents react to Easy Mill. And the next video was the actual video that they were reacting to, which was him in the Wish 106 bus or whatever it is, the Wish bus.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
I watched that first and I was blown away, man. It's like,
Sick.
wow. And then I watched the parents react to it, and it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. Like, just their reaction to it. It was the mom and dad and the daughter sitting on the floor and they're watching it and watching their reaction to it and everything. It just kind of was like, wow, that is so special. And it just kind of started molding in my mind. And that's kind of how it happened. Now, going further into him and why things are not progressing, I don't know. In the rumor mill, I've heard certain things. There was even a rumor that I don't know if he still has that deal with them or not. And to
Yeah,
me,
man.
it could be a mixture of things, meaning it could be some representation that he has on that side that
Okay.
we don't know what he was doing in the beginning, but he had to have been doing something for them to notice. You know what I'm saying? So, and for them to notice and for him to have had something, sounds like there was probably some kind of an entertainment group or agency that was behind him that may have pitched him because somewhere regardless of the business, somewhere lawyers talked. You know what I mean? Lawyers talked and that this business happened. And so we don't know what that was caught up in. The other thing is the fact that he himself can be difficult, maybe understanding how things are as an artist or whatever. But those may be becoming more from haters. Like these are just things that I've heard and read. And then the last thing was kind of what you were saying, which was timing. You know what I mean? Like they don't know how to put him out there and maybe waiting for the right time. So I know that owning a record label like I have and worked for in the past, those conversations happen. They really, really hot on an artist. They want to develop them. just like any training camp or anything, and they start to develop them, but they're waiting for that moment. You know what I mean? And sometimes that moment doesn't really happen. And it,
True.
doesn't mean that it's over, because look at a Huntrix.
Right.
Those three women trained for how long? And at the end, they
Exactly,
didn't
dude.
get to debut. They just kicked them to the
Yeah.
curb and said, "Yeah, too old." You know what I mean? I'll show you too old. And now we all know that they're going to end up winning the Grammy this year. Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
they will.
I
That is for sure, man.
that is for sure, and that is going to be a real big win for all of us, man, especially in the industry. But that's what I think about Easy Mill. I think it's a combination of some things. Which one of those things, I have no idea. But I can just say that I love that dude. I think he's so super talented, and he blew me away. And it was just yet
He's
another.
good.
I mean, when I did, I remember walking into my wife's office. She's totally, doing work and everything. I'm like, "You will not believe what I just heard. Filipino people." And she's just like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "You don't know. I told you." I said, "When it comes to Filipino people, they just keep kicking ass." I said, "You got to see this." She's like, "Great. When I'm finished here, I'll take a look at it." So we were both shocked and just, yeah. Anyway, sorry, I keep going off. All right.
No worries, man.
Because we can keep talking, but I want to try to round this out. It wouldn't be me if I didn't ask you, what's your favorite food?
I fried chicken, easy,
I
man.
love
Fried chicken, number one.
Yeah. But like genre. Filipino
What do you mean?
food,
Sorry.
number one, Mexican food, Italian.
Uh,
What is casual? What does Chuck like to eat?
Well, I've been recently to Singapore, and I really like
fancy.
their yeah, I like their kaya toast. Kaya toast.
Kaya toast.
Yeah.
All right, I'll have to try that. So you like Singaporean food?
Not really, man. I mean, it's fine. I mean, Singaporean food is nice. But yeah, kaya toast really stood out. Um, but I'm not a foodie guy, so I don't really know much about Mexican cuisine or American cuisine. Man, whatever tastes good, I eat, man.
If we ever meet, I'm going to cook you some Mexican food, and hopefully you fall
Hey,
with it. Hopefully you fall with
well,
it. All right, favorite comedian?
favorite comedian.
Yeah.
There's a lot, man.
Got to narrow it down to one.
Oh gosh, this is you put me. Nobody has asked me that before, man.
Well, you just got to answer.
Chris Rock. Chris Rock.
Ooh. Filipino people, that is the wrong answer. It should have been Joe Coy. Joe Coy.
Joe Coy is nice. Yeah, Joe Coy is nice too. Yeah.
Joe Coy. Okay, let's see. So you said, I'm sorry, who was it again?
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. Chris Rock. Okay. And let's see. Favorite Netflix series as of now? What's the most recent one that you're watching?
Ozark.
Ozark. Really?
Well, that's the recent one, but I have a lot of favorites. Number one is Breaking Bad.
Yeah, okay. What about Game of Thrones? You like that?
It's all right. It's good. It's really good until the last season, man. Yeah. I mean, it was a downward spiral in the last season, but overall, great series, man. Really good one. I also checked out House of the Dragon. Pretty good too.
Yeah, I think because the last series the ending kind of sucked so bad that they realized, like, oh shit, man, we gotta do some more of these to try to explain it. Maybe kind of backtrack a little bit. So I think that's why they're doing these series where they keep going back and back and back. So, all right, favorite movie of all times. I know you said Breaking Bad, but that's a series. Favorite movie of all time.
That's really tough, man. I love movies.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Inception. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Wow, that's a deep movie, man.
Oh yeah.
That's deep.
I like
Some
those type of
complex
movies.
shit right there. Cool. cool.
How about you? You should answer the question too, man.
Are you asking? You ask me some questions.
Yeah. What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie of all times is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I'm just way before your time, sir. Yep.
I've never heard that, man. What the heck?
Close Encounters
Close
of the Third
1977 film.
1977. They would blow you.
I gotta see that.
It's an amazing movie. It was. I remember at that time when we went to go see it, they were playing Jaws, Star Wars, and Close Encounters, which was crazy because pretty much the same directors and producers produced those 3 box office hits that were actually simultaneously being played in the theaters. And how it was presented to me was, we're going to see a movie. What would you like? We had already seen Jaws, and my dad's like, either Close Encounters or Star Wars. And because I had an older brother, he was like, Star Wars. And he was like, dude, I know you like spaceships, but Star Wars, blah, 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 blah. And I was, because it sold me, because he's like, this is about UFOs. And I'm like, I'm all about UFOs, even still today. So it got beat out. We went to go see Star Wars, and I fell in love with that. But when I finally got to see Close Encounters, that was it. And I think that I'm glad that I got a perspective of Star Wars, because when I saw the effects in this, they were more realistic, believe it or not. And it made the movie more compelling, interesting, and a little more scarier. So yeah, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Next question.
Definitely checking that out, man. Also, I'm curious about your number one TV show too.
As in series, Dexter. Yeah, man.
Dexter.
Like,
that's a good one.
Dexter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Showtime, right?
I love. Yeah, man. Dexter's my favorite. One of my favorite shows. I definitely love Dexter. But I'm like you too. I have a lot. It really has to do. I like Dexter because I enjoy that with my wife. But then the other stuff that I like, my wife doesn't like. Like, I love Ghost Hunters. Anything but
you gotta be kidding me. I love that dude. What the heck?
I love
Vegas, right?
Zach. Dude. Like, the thing is that I love it.
Yeah, dude. Yo, that's crazy. You into paranormal shit?
Yes, dude, big time. Well, the thing is that I kind of grew up that way because my house was haunted when I was coming up. It's funny because we just did a MAPPA review with my parents. So I brought my parents in and we listened to MAPPA, right? Well, that house is the house that I was raised in that house since I was 12, because we lived somewhere else. But that house my dad built us, so there was no ghosts, there was none of that shit. This house, come to find out that it was built on a battlefield.
That is so cool, dude.
That is really, really cool, man. Well, look, man, I'm glad to have you on the show. It's been really cool. Your guides have really, really helped us out a lot in understanding. I mean, it's because of you that we became such big fans, and eventually 18. I mean, it made sense for us. It was cool, and you were really, really a fantastic guide into that world. And I just really hope the best for them. I hope the best for the Philippines as a whole. And I just think that, being Mexican, being Chicano, like Joe Coy talked about how Filipino people and Mexican people are the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many things.
And
it's so true, man, because every Filipino person that I've ever been cool with, we've always been able to connect on so many levels, man. There's a big DJ, Filipino DJ in Detroit by the name of Joey A. DJ Joey A. And that guy is just a gem. Not only is he one of the most talented DJs you ever met, he's just an amazing person. He makes freestyle music. He does all kinds of really, really cool stuff. And he's always been a really good friend of mine when I'm back in Detroit. When I was coming up into that industry, he was the only person that really gave me the attention that I needed as far as learning the ropes about Detroit and marketing and clubs and stuff. So yeah, big shouts out to DJ Joey A there in Detroit, Michigan.
Shout out, well, DJ Joy.
Yeah, so all the Filipino people need to check that man out. DJ Joey A is he's the truth. He is definitely a Filipino beacon in the Detroit society.
Nice.
When it comes to
That's so
Filipinos there in Detroit, he's the man. He's the guy you want to talk to. He's got the keys to the city for the Filipinos,
awesome.
for sure. So other than that, dude, it was a great time talking to you, man. Is there anything else that you would like to say or cover or ask or anything? This would be the time. This is your moment, man. Go ahead, take it away.
Man, thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed this interview, man. It's just such a chill vibes, and
Thanks,
yeah,
dog.
I appreciate Irene too. Got to know her a little bit during our downtime, and that's really cool. And thanks for having me. Thank you for using your platform to promote SB19. With you reacting to them, you also are helping spread, the word, so to speak.
Right.
Right? I appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I like, connecting with talented people like you because this is becoming international. The only thing that's different is the time frame. And if we ever
Right.
fix that, it's going to be great. You know what I mean? Where everybody's on the same time zone. But in any event, in the future, man, I'm always looking for collaborations and stuff like that. So please don't be shy, especially the paranormal world is it's a niche. It's a niche thing, and it works, and it's very interesting. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I completely diverted my point. I'm sorry, I get like that
Nah, it's
sometimes.
okay, man.
Being
worries.
excited and being, nervous at the same time, my mouth kind of goes up. So, anyways, dog,
Oh.
thank you for stopping by, and hopefully, we get a chance to do some of this again in the future. Man, again, thank you for coming out, and for everybody out there, all the 18s. Man, big love from Barcelona, Spain. You guys are all in my heart. Obviously, SB19 will always be part of our journey from this point on. Anything that we can do to help is always going to be there. And the 18s have been so, so good to me. And they love my parents. My parents have become 18 as well. My mom loves Josh, just thinks Josh is
Nice.
it. Yeah. So, but in any event, you guys, thank you for stopping by. And if you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, and put that notification bell on so you know the next time we do one of these videos. We just surpassed 20,000 subscribers, which is great.
Wow.
So help us get to, the next plan would try to be like 30,000. I mean, my wife's like, no, 25. But I'm like, nah, man, as we start going towards 30,000, you only you guys can
100K,
help
man.
me.
Get that.
I know.
Black.
I got it. I'm trying to be like you, Chuck. What was that moment like when you hit 100K? What did you do?
Nothing. I mean, I got the plaque and I was so happy. It was unbelievable, man. I thought it wasn't gonna happen, but it happened. So I'm sure you'll get there. Yeah.
I can't wait for it to happen. But congratulations on that, dude, because we were talking about
Thanks,
that
man.
breakfast. I'm like, man, that had to be an incredible moment. Well, anyways, you guys, hopefully a part 2 will come out of this. You guys.
Yeah,
stay
part
easy.
2.
Absolutely. Y'all be safe. Chuck, thank you for stopping by, homie, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you, man.
And peace out.